What's going on, guys? It's your man Ed Hayes here. Just wanted to make a quick video, man. I'm in the car driving real quick, but I thought about you wholesalers out here, man, and I was like, you know what? I think they need this video. So I'm just going on top of my head or whatever. I don't have any script or anything like that, but I wanted to talk about like mistakes that I typically see wholesalers make and how to avoid those. Like, what are the most common mistakes? What are some even maybe unheard of mistakes that maybe you haven't heard of or really thought about that could be causing you to not be able to close as many deals, or maybe you're not even getting the properties under contract in the first place? So let's talk about it. Some of the most common things that wholesalers do that actually hold them down and keep them away from actually cashing out. Well, first off is just being knowledgeable. I see that's probably like the biggest thing in the wholesale space is, a lot of people are just out here kind of winging it and they don't actually know the numbers behind the deal. Maybe they're confused about how to run comps, and maybe they're confused about how to figure out the repair cost and stuff like that. But these are things that you really need to hone in on. You need to be a knowledge broker for that buyer. So even when it comes to like the repairs necessary inside of the property, that's going to be very important. A lot of buyers are going to want to know the condition of, they call it like the 4 pillars, the HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and the roof, right? Like, you need to be knowledgeable about these properties, and you need to really break it down to the money. At the end of the day, that's what buyers are looking for. In fact, like, what I'll do for you guys is I'll drop my profit calculator below this video, so you all can feel free to download that for absolutely free. I'll drop the profit calculator that I literally use for my own deals. Like, if I'm looking to buy a property, this is the calculator that I use. And I'll share that with you all. It'll be below in the description of this video. But long story short, though, guys, like, you gotta base it on the numbers. That's all that people get into investing for anyway. It's not to just look at houses. They get into it to see whether they can actually get a return on their investment. They want to make money. So you want to let them know what that profit is going to be looking like for them on that deal. So that's just one thing. The next thing that I would say that it's pretty important that you want to be paying attention to is going to be like making sure that you actually have some quality photos and videos of the property, and access. That's going to be very important. Have access so people can do their inspections. Like, if it's a occupied property, you'll probably have to give the seller a day in advance. That's perfectly fine. But regardless, like, you need to have access to the property so you can get your buyers in and out of there. And you also need to get some quality photos and videos just in case, let's say you got a seller or a buyer that's out of state, or maybe they're even in state, but they want to buy the property sight unseen. Maybe they just don't want to drive over to the property because they just know the area so good. If you have quality photos and videos, I would recommend having at least 25 photos. But if you have quality photos and videos, those properties tend to sell faster and they sell for more money. So, like, you can't really beat that. At the end of the day, you want to make more money fast. Make sure that you have some quality photos and videos. Another thing is like really understanding your buyer's needs, right? Like, you need to know what your buyers actually want to buy. Now, I know if you're just getting started, you may not have any buyers on your list right now, and that's perfectly fine, right? That's perfectly fine to get started. You might want to link up with a disposition company that does have buyers that can help you sell that deal. Speaking of that, like, if you are looking to try to get a deal sold, you could definitely shoot it over to me. We run a company called Real Estate Rocket, as well as another company called JV Splits, where we do a lot of JV deals. I will have a submission link below this video. If you've got a deal and you don't have buyers yet, so you don't know what that criteria is, you don't really know what they're buying, et cetera, but you still want to sell that deal, you could definitely shoot it our way and we'll be able to help you. But essentially, like, you want to know what that buyer's buying criteria is. You want to understand their buy box, right? So if they're looking for properties that are at least 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, maybe it has to have a garage, maybe it has to have a basement, little things like that, you're going to want to verify what the buyers are looking for. Or maybe it's a return on investment that they're looking for. Ask your buyers, like, what's an ideal deal to you? Look at son just glistening off me. Like, what's an ideal deal to you, John? Like, break it down for me. Like, is that a certain return on investment? Would you like a 15% return on investment? Or are you looking for like $50,000 per deal? Like, what exactly does a good deal look like to you? It's a very kind of subjective thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, people say if it's a good deal, somebody will buy it. But what's a good deal to John may not be a good deal to Meredith and Ruth and Bob. right? So keep that in mind, guys. We have to be understanding of our customers. These are our customers. These are the people that's actually writing our checks, putting money in our pocket. Those are the buyers, right? So why wouldn't you know what your buyers actually want? Or why would you just not have buyers, right? You have to have good relationships, and it doesn't take millions of buyers to actually be able to sell a deal. In all reality, you just need a handful of solid buyers in every market that you're going to be operating in. Oh, so another mistake that I see a lot of wholesalers doing is kind of putting all your eggs into one basket. You need to stop doing that. If that's you, if I'm speaking to you right now, you need to stop doing that. Like, if you've got one deal, don't just go tunnel vision on that one deal, because any deal can fall through. Even at the day of closing, like, the deal could fall apart. So don't have tunnel vision. Don't only work on one deal a day. You want to be putting some time, energy, and effort into several deals a day. That's what I recommend. Like, don't just put all your eggs into that one basket, because if it goes left, you're gonna be heartbroken, I promise you. Another common mistake that I see wholesalers doing is not using a CRM system or some type of database to actually manage and organize all of their leads. Or if they have a CRM, they're not actively updating that CRM to say, hey, you know, I called John, he didn't answer. Sometimes you need to see that visually so you can keep track of your tasks that you need to do with that particular property. You need to know exactly what it is so you can stay on track. It's really, really easy to kind of end up all over the place when you're trying to do these deals, especially as you start to pick up a good amount of inventory. You'll look up and you're like, hey, wait, wasn't I supposed to have been calling that dude back? Oh my God, you know, so you just need to stay on top of it. And in my opinion, the best way of staying on top is by having like some type of database or CRM system that you're using to kind of manage and organize all of your deals. So personally, we use Asana. That's like a project management tool that allows us to just add our deals as tasks inside of there, and we can stay up to date and stay on point in regards to what we need to be doing to actually get these deals sold and purchased, for that matter. All right, I'm here to pick up my little brother from work, so I will be back once I make it back home. That's a working man right there. Boom, we made it. All right, so I'm back at the house, guys. I got a lot more tips for y'all, man. It's gonna get spicy here, okay? The next one I got for y'all is making sure that you're not hiring staff before you even know how to run your own business. I see this happen all the time. People will essentially try to hire staff to basically run their entire business, and they've never even done a deal yet. They don't even know like the general processes that you have to go through and things of that nature or whatever. And they're basically hiring people to run the whole show. Well, you're not gonna be a good, effective leader if you've never actually done the job. Stop. I know a lot of these wholesalers out here, brand newbies usually, will just try to put their business into someone else's hand. They want that easy route. You want to be able to just click the hell out of the easy button or whatever, but life just doesn't work like that. If you don't even know how to run your own business, what's the chances of you actually effectively leading a staff, a team to victory? Slim to none. Happens all the time where wholesalers get out here and think that they're going to press the easy button and be able to just lay up these deals like it was nothing. It just doesn't work like that. My humble abode, good old Las Vegas, is beautiful out here. Now, another mistake that I see a lot of wholesalers making is essentially just going out there and just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall without actually having processes and systems in place to effectively run your business. That means like CRM systems. That means, hey, you know, we need to call at least 50 people per day, and we have a software where we can actually record the calls, and et cetera, especially if you're going to have staff. But even if it's just you and you have no staff, you need to have SOPs, standard operating procedures, so you know exactly what you need to be doing every single day to get out here and get to the bag. It can't be random. You can't wake up every day like, today I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm doing that, this, next day I'm doing this, da 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 da. You're all over the place. So many wholesalers are just all over the place. Create the SOPs. 20% of the stuff that you do is going to earn you 80% of the money. Start making the calls. Call these buyers, call these sellers, get these deals sold, get them signed. Do what you need to do, but it's the very small things that you do that end up giving you the biggest results. So make sure that you have standard operating procedures. Make sure that you know what you need to be doing every day so you're not out here aimless. All right, now this next one. This next one may offend some people or hurt some people's feelings or whatever, but it's all good because we're here to give the game and give the truth. But another thing that I see a lot of wholesalers doing is essentially linking up right when you're getting started with other wholesalers that have absolutely no experience. It's just like the blind leading the blind, essentially. You don't want to be in that scenario. If you're out here, if you're just getting started, link up with people that are actually winning. Don't link up with people that are just talking about it or it's all theory and stuff like that. You need to link up with the people around you or in your area that are actually winning. They're closing deals, they're making money, they're breaking bread, they're going to the closing table. At the end of the day, those are the people that you want to be linking up with. Don't end up linking up with a bunch of other brand new wholesalers and y'all just gonna get out here and thug it out and stuff like that. Well, you need some type of guidance. You need some type of leadership. Even if your partner is a newbie, both of y'all are newbies or something like that, at least get yourself a mentor, get a coach, find somebody that can help you actually do it the right way the first time, so you don't have to be landing on landmines over and over and over again because you simply don't know what you're doing. There's a lot of steps that go into actually getting these deals, and if you've never done it before, you might be shocked and amazed like of how many moving pieces it is. When you see all of this advertising online, it's just a bunch of people telling you that this stuff is going to be easy. Here's how I close 5 to 10 deals a month and with no dollars in advertising. They make it so fanatical. It sounds like a fantasy or whatever, but that's not the reality of it. It's a lot harder. It's a lot more that goes into it. So don't link up with just brand newbies. Make sure you're working with experienced wholesalers that can actually help you get to the bag. All right. All right, y'all. I only got a couple more tips for y'all, and then I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and get up out of here. All right, guys. So the next tip that I have for you all, and I think that this is gonna relate to a lot of people, but essentially what I see a lot of wholesalers doing is doing a bunch of busy work. Essentially, like you feel like you're getting stuff done, but you're just busy. You're not actually being productive. I see this happen all the time where, like I said just a bit ago, you know, the 20% of the work is what's getting you 80% of the money. Well, very often newbie wholesalers, even experienced wholesalers, they're gonna wanna spend the majority of their time doing stuff that doesn't get them paid. Oh, let me clean out the CRM system. Let me move some deals around and, you know, let me organize stuff. Let me do a whole bunch of BS that's not actually getting you paid. Call sellers, call buyers, get contracts signed. Like that's really what you should be doing. You should be putting out fires if you got a staff. You should be doing the stuff that actually gets you paid at the end of the day. Don't spend all of your time just lollygagging and kind of playing around doing stuff that's not going to get you paid. It feels very comfortable, but comfortability kills. You don't want to be comfortable. You need to be in a constant state of uncomfortability, typically, if you're going to be winning out here as a wholesaler. Keep that in mind, guys. This stuff is not easy. Stop doing all of the stuff that just feels easy and it feels, okay, I could keep doing this over and over and over. No, very often the things that you need to do the most are the things that you don't necessarily want to do. You have to be willing to do the things that other people aren't willing to do to get the things that other people can't have. And if you want to be out here closing a solid 5 figures a month, getting a solid 6-figure years, guys, you got to put in that work. You got to do the productive work, not just the busy work. And then the last tip that I have for you guys is not having certain contracts. Like that's another thing that I see wholesalers do wrong all the time. Is just not having certain clauses in your contract. You want to make sure that you're protected. You want to make sure that you know that you don't have to put up earnest money, for instance, right? So a clause that we have in our agreements, it has it to where we don't have to put up our EMD until our inspection period is over. That's a great clause to have in an agreement. Another clause that we have in our agreement is called memorandum of contract. That allows us to essentially like tie up the property, if you will. It allows us to tie up the property so the seller can't sell that property without your permission once you're under contract. So because you will have sellers that try to go behind your back, they'll backdoor you. That's why your seller is ghosting, because someone else called them and they're going with them. Memorandum of contract could keep you safe. safe. You'll have to go file it at the county, et cetera, et cetera. It's a bit of a process, but it's definitely worth it if you've got a big deal and you know that the seller is shopping that deal to other people. Make sure that you have some solid clauses in your contracts. If you check out the link down below, you can actually grab my contract pack. You get all of the contracts that I use to run my business on a daily basis, including like our sub-2 agreements, our hefty purchase and sale agreements, everything that we use to run our business. Boom, you'll get it as soon as you grab that contract pack down below. Well, that's basically it, guys. Like, tell me though, that this video actually connect with you. Do you find yourself in this video or whatever, like, yo, that kind of sounds like me. Maybe that is costing me money. Maybe I should do things a little bit different. If so, this video was a success. If not, shoot it to a buddy of yours, a friend, a family member, another wholesaler that you know out there that may need these tips. Let them know, like, look, I told you, bro, didn't I tell you that you weren't supposed to be doing that? Da, da, da. Send them this video, let them know. Drop me a comment down below if you appreciate the content, man. I've been out here trying to pump out some videos for you all, trying to get back into the groove. I took like a 5-month break off in 2024, at the end of 2024. But guys, look, I'm coming back in full effect. So I hope y'all been waiting for these videos because they're here and they ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, we are out.